Scorpio, beloved keeper of shadows and wisdom, are you truly prepared to drown in divine wealth, or are you still afraid of what happens when prayers are answered too fast? If your body reacted the moment you heard those words, it's because something ancient inside you has recognized this moment. You're not here by coincidence. You were called. And this is not just a message, it's a holy confirmation that the final curse hovering over your life is breaking open. You are stepping into a sea of supernatural provision that cannot be controlled, only surrendered to. Welcome to Miracle of the Sign, where nothing happens by chance. Where healing meets prophecy, and every word is designed to water the seeds that God and the universe have already planted inside your soul. And today, you're not just watching another horoscope. You're standing at the edge of your Red Sea moment, where scarcity parts and divine overflow pours through. I speak to you not only as one of the top 0.1% of global guides in astrology, tarot, energy healing, and law of attraction, but as someone who walks the narrow path of spiritual awakening through Christ-centered mindfulness. Here, we don't entertain fear. We hold space for miracles. We lean into scripture. We believe in soul contracts, ancestral inheritance, vibrational unlocking, and the living breath of prophecy. And make no mistake, this moment, Scorpio, is not entertainment. It's an invitation to break free from a generational scarcity that never belonged to you. Somewhere in your life, you've been working harder than most people know. Carrying more than most people see. Maybe it was depression. Maybe anxiety. Maybe you've been so emotionally tired that even hope started to sound fake. But God saw it all. And while others may have overlooked your struggle, heaven has been preparing your release. The energy around you is shifting. What was once delayed is now realigning. You are being called out of the cycle of lack, not just financially, but spiritually, emotionally, and energetically. You are not just about to receive money. You are about to reclaim identity. This is restoration. This is resurrection. And yes, someone has been watching, an angel, a mentor, or a divine soul sent to recognize the fire in you that even you tried to bury. You've always known you were different, Scorpio. You've always sensed your life was tied to something bigger, something hidden, something sacred. And now, that knowing is being confirmed. Right now, I invite you to claim it. To comment below with the words, "I am ready to receive the divine wealth meant for me." Say it. Type it. Anchor it. Because your comment is not just interaction, it is activation. And in this space, your energy is seen. Let me take a moment to offer my deepest gratitude for your presence. Every like, every comment, every subscribe is a sacred act of agreement that brings you deeper into the soul family we are building here. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Your support fuels this mission and allows messages like this to reach the hearts that need them most. And trust me when I say this, you will want to stay until the very last second of today's message, because what the universe and spirit are about to reveal goes far beyond your imagination. There is something waiting for you in this message that your spirit has prayed for in silence. Now tell me, what divine pull brought you here today, Scorpio? Could it be that your moment has finally arrived? Stay with me. You'll understand why soon. Scorpio, this moment is not about luck. It is about alignment. What you're feeling isn't just a shift, it's a surge, a tidal wave of abundance building behind the dam of every delay, every closed door, every "not yet" that once echoed in the dark chambers of your becoming. With the sun now illuminating your second house, your sector of money, personal value, and tangible self-worth, there's no denying that the external world is finally catching up with what your soul has known for years. You are ready to receive. But here's the truth few dare to say out loud: abundance, when it comes fast and vast, can feel more terrifying than lack. Because it asks something different of you. It doesn't demand survival. It demands expansion. As Pluto, your ruling planet, reaches into the deepest soil of your identity, it's not just stirring your finances, it's unearthing everything you've buried to stay safe. Your old stories about money, self-worth, scarcity, and inheritance are being pulled to the surface like roots choking a garden. And the choice is no longer whether you want more, but whether you're willing to let go of what no longer fits the version of you who is stepping into overflow. The energetic metaphor here is not about drowning in cash. It's about being immersed in a vibrational field you were never taught to swim in. Money, in this sense, is not just currency, it is current. And the current is strong. Imagine standing at the shore of an ocean you prayed for, only to realize the waves are coming in faster than you thought. This is not the trickle of unexpected income or a quiet opportunity dressed in subtle signs. This is divine saturation. But it won't feel like joy at first, it might feel like breathlessness. Not because you're unworthy, but because no one ever prepared you for the moment the struggle ends. It's not the money that suffocates you, it's the identity you built around not having it. And that is what Pluto is now tearing apart with love and intensity. The shell is cracking not to destroy you, but to make space for you. There is an emotional reckoning happening beneath the financial blessing. A quiet but sacred grief for all the versions of you who had to hustle, sacrifice, and carry silent burdens just to survive. And now, as abundance starts to pour in like light through stained glass, you might find yourself blinking, dazed, wondering if it's real. This is where your faith must rise. This is where your nervous system must learn to breathe underwater. Because this wealth, this ocean of possibility, isn't coming from the world. It's coming from the prayers you've whispered when no one was listening. The unseen obedience. The seeds sown in hidden fields. The Bible reminds us in Ecclesiastes 11 verse 1, "Cast your bread upon the waters, for after many days you will find it again." You've cast. You've waited. And now the waters are returning, but not with mere bread, with blessings so vast, they will demand a new container, a new trust, a new breath. You're not just being rewarded. You're being reborn. And just like Jonah in the belly of the whale, sometimes the deepest transformation happens when we're submerged, when everything familiar is gone, and all that's left is surrender. So if you feel overwhelmed, it's okay. If your body resists, that's natural. You're entering a vibration that your past cannot follow. And this is where the path opens, not through control, but through embodiment. Let the ocean rise. Let the dam break. And instead of resisting the flood, ask your soul to inhale. To remember. To expand. Because this is what you asked for. And now, it's asking for you. There comes a time in every soul's journey when what once seemed like coincidence begins to feel like divine choreography. If you've been sensing eyes on you lately, not in fear, but with the weight of unseen recognition, you are not mistaken. You are being watched, but not in the way the world would expect. Someone, or something, has been observing your energy shift. Not just your actions, but your vibration. A person, a presence, a figure that may appear ordinary at first glance, but whose true role is far from casual. They have been sent into your field not to save you, not to fix you, but to reflect you. And in doing so, to remind you of the power you forgot you had. You see, when Pluto stirs the roots of your subconscious, as it's doing now, it doesn't just excavate your own story, it unlocks ancestral layers, karmic echoes, and dormant contracts written long before this lifetime. You carry a blueprint that connects you to generations before and after, and within that blueprint is a seed of financial restoration, of abundance long held back by belief systems that weren't yours to carry. The one watching you now senses that your time has come. They see what you've tried to hide under years of doubt, fear, and hesitation, that you are the financial liberator of your bloodline. The one chosen to break the cycle. To rewrite what prosperity means. Not just for you, but for those who came before and those who will come after. This person is not here by accident. They may arrive as a mentor, a teacher, a stranger whose words feel strangely familiar. Or they may already be in your orbit, someone whose presence activates something inside you that's hard to explain. There is no need to chase or question. What matters is how you respond to the feeling. Energy doesn't lie. If someone has been coming to mind repeatedly, perhaps in dreams or quiet flashes during your day, this may be your soul's way of drawing your attention to the connection. Their role is to ignite, not to interfere. To hold the mirror as you reclaim the parts of yourself you once abandoned to survive. This moment is about recognition, but not the kind that screams. It's subtle. Gentle. It's that soft flicker of, maybe I do have something valuable, or the warm surprise of someone seeing you without needing explanation. And from a self-healing perspective, this is sacred ground. We all need mirrors, not for ego, but for awakening. This person, whoever they are, is your mirror. And not the dusty kind that shows your flaws, but the polished kind that shows your destiny. The version of you that exists beyond trauma, beyond survival, beyond scarcity. In energy work and psychology alike, we understand that change is often catalyzed through relational resonance. You meet someone, and they say one sentence that rewires your entire belief system. Not because they taught you something new, but because their presence unlocked something ancient. That is the essence of divine timing. And in this case, it's not a romantic fantasy, it's an energetic handshake that says, you're not alone anymore. You were never meant to carry this breakthrough by yourself. If this has stirred something in you, take a moment. Write down the name of the person who just came to mind. Even if you're unsure. Even if it seems random. In doing so, you signal to the universe that you are ready to acknowledge the support being sent your way. You are ready to co-create your expansion. And more than that, you're ready to stop hiding from the magnitude of your calling. Because you are the one who holds the keys. Not just to your future, but to a legacy that begins with your decision to rise. Sometimes, the most powerful transformations don't come with thunder or applause. They arrive in silence, like a whisper through the soul, asking you to release what was never truly yours. In this moment of your journey, what is breaking is not an external curse cast by some distant force, it's something far more intimate. It's the quiet agreements you made with fear. The inherited stories you didn't even realize you were living. The deep-rooted belief that you had to earn your worth, prove your value, and put everyone else's needs before your own. These beliefs didn't come from nowhere. They were passed down, embedded into the emotional DNA of your lineage, wrapped in love and survival but saturated in limitation. The Ten of Pentacles, one of the most sacred cards in the tarot deck, doesn't just symbolize wealth or inheritance. It represents lineage, legacy, and the energy you carry from those who came before you. And right now, that card is showing up in your field not just to promise you abundance, but to remind you that you were chosen to shift the narrative. You, the one who questioned your worth. The one who carried burdens that weren't yours. The one who felt like the last to receive what others inherited by default. You are not cursed. You are the curse breaker. And this breaking is not dramatic, it is subtle, almost imperceptible at first, like a glass thread snapping under the weight of new truth. To the outside world, nothing may look different. But inside of you, the structure that once held you in place is crumbling, and in its place is space. Space to believe differently. Space to receive. The energy of the Ten of Pentacles reminds us that true abundance is not something we chase, it's something we allow. And we cannot allow what we believe we're unworthy of. That is why the real work is not in manifestation rituals or external strategies. The real work is dismantling the inner agreements we've made with scarcity. When you begin to tell yourself a new story, one where you no longer have to earn love, no longer need to justify your desires, no longer sacrifice your own abundance in the name of guilt or tradition, that is when the chain breaks. This isn't just a mindset shift. It's an energetic reorientation. It's a moment where your nervous system learns a new rhythm, where your heart dares to expect something better, where your breath no longer contracts at the thought of wealth, but opens. And that shift, though silent, sends ripples across timeline, shielding past, present, and future at once. From a self-help and psychological lens, this process is what we call internal reprogramming. You are not just learning, you are unlearning. You are unlearning shame. You are unlearning the belief that money is only for others, or that goodness requires struggle. And that is why this moment may feel tender. Because something within you is dying, and something else more spacious, more true is being born. It might not come with grand signs. But you'll feel it when the old beliefs don't stick like they used to. When you hear someone say, "I'm not meant for abundance," and something inside you disagrees. When you see a door open, and you don't question whether you're allowed to walk through it. That is the sign. That is the healing. You don't need to fight for freedom you were already born to embody. The curse doesn't end with drama, it ends with truth. And your truth is simple: you were never the one who had to suffer. You were the one who came to end the suffering. So let this moment be quiet if it needs to be. Let the release be gentle. Because once the old identity dissolves, what remains is the you that was always meant to rise. And rise, you will. So often we search for abundance in the obvious places: new jobs, fresh starts, loud ideas, bold moves, believing that the future must always be somewhere far ahead. But what if the wealth you've been waiting for isn't ahead of you at all? What if it's quietly resting in something you already created, something you once gave up on, something buried not because it failed but because the world wasn't ready to see the fullness of who you were becoming? In this chapter of your journey, the universe doesn't point you outward. It gently turns you inward. And as the layers of old beliefs dissolve, a new voice begins to rise within the voice that tells you to go back and look again. The truth is, your forgotten ideas, your abandoned drafts, your half-finished projects, your old journals, those whispered wishes made through tears, all of them carry energy. Energy doesn't disappear, it waits. It waits for permission to rise again. And now, with your field vibrating in a new way, clearer, lighter, more aligned, those old seeds are stirring. The energy you once invested in what you thought was lost is still alive. It simply needed new soil. New timing. A new you. This is the nature of divine timing through the lens of astrology and energy work. When the inner frequency shifts, your outer world begins to echo it, not through random coincidence, but through long-planted potential that has matured in silence. What felt like failure years ago may reveal itself as foreshadowing. What seemed like rejection may return as realignment. What you once called trash is being redefined as treasure, not because it changed but because you did. In my years of guiding souls through the rhythms of cosmic cycles, I've seen this truth play out again and again. Nothing you've created from the heart is ever wasted. Sometimes, a breakthrough isn't about launching something new. It's about reviving something sacred. And this is where your true abundance begins, not from the next big idea, but from honoring the energy you've already poured into something real. You are not empty-handed. You are overflowing with dormant wealth, waiting to be reactivated. That's why this is not just a financial message. It's a call to healing. Emotional healing. Creative healing. Self-worth healing. When you return to an idea that once felt too painful, too overlooked, too risky to pursue, you're not just trying again, you're reclaiming a part of yourself that you once believed didn't matter. And that reclamation shifts everything. Because money, in its highest form, is a mirror of self-worth. And when you declare your past creations worthy of resurrection, the universe meets that energy with momentum. Color carries vibration, and this is a beautiful time to anchor this reawakening through your physical field. Surround yourself with teal color that opens the heart chakra, calms emotional storms, and invites in forgiveness. Let it soften the walls that still whisper, "You're not ready." Let it remind your heart it is safe to receive. And wear or meditate with gold, not the kind that boasts, but the kind that quietly affirms your innate royalty. Gold is not loud. It radiates. It confirms what has always been true: you are enough to begin again. Even a single action, opening a forgotten folder, rereading an old dream, replying to that email you ignored, can shift your entire reality. Because it signals to the universe that you are now ready to see what you once could not. And that readiness is the bridge. What once gathered dust will now gather light. And what you thought was lost is about to return, not as what it was, but as what it was always meant to be. There comes a moment in every healing journey when effort alone no longer opens the door. You've journaled, meditated, visualized, survived. You've carried heavy stories and rewritten your narrative more than once. And still, something inside whispers that the final shift isn't about doing more, it's about believing deeper. That whisper is the voice of faith, calling you into the realm where logic no longer leads and energy becomes the compass. In astrology, when the 12th house is activated or Neptune touches the personal planets, we're asked to surrender control and embrace the invisible path. This is not weakness, it's power cloaked in trust. Because it takes deep inner strength to walk when you cannot yet see the ground under your feet. Ritual, then, becomes the bridge between spirit and form. It's not about superstition or magic tricks. Ritual is structure for your belief. It's a sacred choreography that tells the universe, I am ready to participate. I am ready to open my heart, not with desperation, but with reverence. Writing down 10 limiting beliefs about money is not just a mental exercise. It's an energetic audit. Each belief you name loses its hidden power. And when you burn those words under white candlelight, you symbolically return them to source, freeing your field to receive something new. Fire transmutes. Flame speaks. The ritual is your reply to the cosmic invitation, release the lies and return to truth. Repetition of your chosen mantra, I break the curse. I am ready to receive prosperity, is not empty affirmation. It's breath retraining your nervous system. It's your voice harmonizing with a future where abundance is normal. Where your worth is unquestioned. Where your name is already written on the miracle you've been waiting for. Mantras work because they are language encoded with energy. And every time you speak them, you are rewriting the signal you send out to the world. You stop begging for scraps. You start preparing the table. Sending a message to someone you feel a soul connection with might seem like a small action, but on an energetic level, it's a leap of courage. When we connect vulnerably with those who mirror something deep within us, we collapse distance and expand healing. Relationships that are spiritually aligned carry keys sometimes to past pain, sometimes to future purpose, often to both. Don't overlook the people who cross your mind as you do this work. Those nudges are not random. Energy precedes language. If your heart remembers them, it's for a reason. This part of your transformation is not about striving. It's about alignment. That's why we're told in both energy medicine and modern psychology that blessings don't arrive when we force them, they arrive when we become safe enough to hold them. And safety is born in an open heart. A constricted heart cannot receive. A skeptical heart cannot see. But a heart softened by faith? That's a magnet for divine orchestration. When you live as if the blessing is already on its way, it finds you faster. Because faith is not passive. Faith is action and trust. It's sending the message. Saying the mantra. Lighting the candle. And doing it not to get something but because your soul knows it's already yours. This final act of this journey is not about effort. It's about resonance. Let your energy match the vision. Let your heart prepare the space. Let your faith become the new floor you stand on. Because abundance was never meant to be chased. It was meant to be welcomed. And you, dear one, are the door. Scorpio, if your soul is still here with me right now, that means something inside you recognized this truth not as new information, but as an ancient memory stirring back to life. You didn't come to this video by accident. You were guided here because a part of your spirit is finally ready to stop surviving and start receiving. Not just survival, not just glimpses of light, but the full inheritance of joy, wealth, love, and divine alignment that has been waiting for you to reclaim it. And no, you don't have to be fully healed, fully confident, or fully perfect to take the first step. You only need to believe that it's possible. You only need to whisper yes. Everything that's been showing up, these signs, the nudges, the people you can't stop thinking about, is not random. It's confirmation. The energetic current is shifting and your name is written on the next wave of abundance. But this isn't just about receiving more money. It's about remembering your worth. It's about taking off the mask of lack and putting on the truth of legacy. You're not here to carry the family burdens. You're here to break the cycle. You're here to write a new chapter, one where the pain ends with you and prosperity begins with you. You are the curse breaker. You are the door opener. You are the chosen one. So now the question is, will you receive what's been yours all along? Or will you delay your blessing by continuing to believe a story that was never truly yours? Ask yourself, what belief are you still holding on to that's keeping the floodgates closed? What version of yourself do you need to say goodbye to in order to say yes to the millionaire version of you who's been waiting patiently behind the veil? Take a deep breath. Feel it. The shift has already begun. And if something in you knows this was meant for you, don't let it pass by like just another video. Let it be the moment your reality changed. Comment below, I break the curse and I'm ready to receive my divine money. That's not just a comment. That's an energetic agreement. That's how you echo your yes through the spiritual realms and let every force of light know you're ready. Subscribe to Miracle of the Sign so you never miss the confirmations that are custom written for your path. Like this video and share it with someone you love because miracles multiply when they're witnessed. And above all, remember, you are not walking this alone. Even if you felt abandoned by people, heaven never left your side. You are held. You are seen. You are led. And you are so much closer than you think. Let me take a moment to thank you with all my heart for being here. For every like, every comment, every sacred moment you choose to share your energy with this space, you are expanding this spiritual family and helping us bring light into a world that needs it. And Scorpio, trust me, you're going to want to stay with me until the very end of this journey, because what the universe is lining up next is more spectacular than you've ever imagined. Tell me in the comments, what part of your destiny are you reclaiming today?